I said something about Lane Kiffin earlier today that I thought was very, very clearly detectable sarcasm. But I forgot in the year of our Lord 2025, especially when it comes to something as consequential as a coaching search in college football, no one has a sarcasm detector anymore. So here's what I said. Quote, I know where Lane will be in 2026. And all I can say is, wow. And anyone who knows me, anyone who follows me on socials, like, do I ever talk like that unless I'm clearly mocking other people? The answer is no. I was clearly mocking other people here. This is very, very standard message board lingo. And look, I had a 4-hour flight to Portland the other night, so all I did was live on Florida and LSU message boards. I'm in the weeds with you guys. I'm in the trenches. So this is an inside joke in message board culture. And look, fortunately / unfortunately, depending on your viewpoint on life, a lot of you do not traffic in message boards all day. And it went over a lot of people's heads. And I mean, some smart people thought I was dead serious or trying to be dead serious with this. I'm not apologizing for it. If you can't detect sarcasm that's this obvious, that's a you problem. I apologize all the time. We have a halfway used package of clown noses right over here on this table. I'm looking at it right now for when I have to apologize on air. So I apologize all the time. I'm not apologizing for that. Here's what I will tell you. Several things, several thoughts on where the Lane Kiffin multi-coaching search, will he stay, will he go drama is, and how it's going to play out this week. I still don't think anything is decided. There are many people out there who would tell you this is done to LSU. There are a few people out there, less, but still a few people out there, close to the Florida situation, who would swear to you, hey man, I know it's quiet around here, but we feel good about where we're at. There's some folks who think Ole Miss will keep him as well. I don't think it's decided. Now, all joking aside, I'm telling you, I will be completely honest with you here. All joking aside, I have spoken to Lane Kiffin every day for the past week. I don't know where he's going. So you guys may have better sourcing on this than me. I have no idea where he's going. Now, apparently some people think they do know where he's going. And here's what I do think. I think you've heard indications that strongly make you believe you know where he's going. That's what I do believe. And there are very, very strong indications to make you believe he's going to LSU. I know what you're talking about. I am not ready to say that. There are some people who would think, hey man, read the tea leaves. Have you heard this about Florida? Have you heard that about Florida? Yeah, I have. I'm not ready to say that. Well, at least you can say he's going to leave Ole Miss, right? No, I can't say that. I don't know that. I have talked to the dude every day, sometimes multiple times per day for the past week. I got no clue where he's going. So if you know more than me, God bless you. I'd love to know what you know. But so far, I haven't heard anything from anyone, including him, that makes me sure he knows where he's going. Because where I think it is still on this Sunday night is I don't think definitively Lane knows what he's going to do. And if you've ever had multiple options on tables in front of you and they're all good, I think you can kind of relate to this. It's very rare. You find yourself in these positions very rarely in life. But imagine you're Lane Kiffin for a second. Stay where you are and you're at a great place that you yourself have claimed you love, that is a ready-made playoff destination. You don't have to guess if you can make the playoff at Ole Miss. You're already there. So if you stay, boom, you're in the playoff. You don't have to move. You don't have to pack up and go. People adore you for the rest of your life. That's option one. Options 2 and 3 are you go to one or the other of some of the most historically relevant brands in the past quarter century in this sport. Hey, really quick timeout. We'll get right back to the video. Do me one favor. Make sure you're subscribed. It helps us keep the show free. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us keep doing college football year round. And we appreciate it. All right, back to the video. You go to a place where Steve Spurrier's won big and Urban Meyer's won big. And by the way, that place has massively reinvested in itself over the past 5 years. It's pretty transformative how different Florida looks on the inside. I'm down there multiple times a year. I can confidently attest to this than it did 5 years ago. So you can win big at Florida. LSU, I don't think I need to describe to people what you can do at LSU. So if these are your options, my point is, it's not a slam dunk. It's like degrees of edges that each of them have. And so if either of the three options are winners, if the worst of the options is really good and the best of the options is great, I could see kicking the can down the road as far as you possibly can. I don't know to what degree the announcement by Keith Carter, the Ole Miss athletic director, delayed anything last week. Like, there were some people who suggested, man, maybe LSU was ready to lock this thing down, but then Keith Carter put out his statement saying, oh, we'll deal with this after the Egg Bowl. We're going to make an announcement after the Egg Bowl, and maybe that's the only thing that delayed us. I think there's probably a lot more in play than that. You also got to understand there's the small matter of the dude has a game to coach Friday and is represented by the most powerful agent in the sport right now in Jimmy Sexton. So if that were the position I was in, I would say, do what you got to do behind the scenes. I'll make a decision whenever I'm telling you I'll make a decision. That could be 5 minutes from now. That could truly be after the Egg Bowl. But between now and then, if you understand how your representation works behind the scenes, it may make sense why things feel like they continue to be changing and why you may have one whisper over here 1 hour, then another whisper over here the next hour. Well, it's because when there are multiple parties involved, you're just basically taking offer from party to party. Can you match this? Here's what they're going to do on this front. Here's what they're going to do on that front. Here's how they counter to your offer. Now, look, you can think this is slimy. You could think this is absolutely the way of the world. It works this way in more than just college football, I can promise you. So, it's the way it is, as Bruce Hornsby once sang, for better or for worse. But anyway, my point is, for anyone who thinks that, oh, there's no way it's still up in the air. Yeah, there is. I actually think it is up in the air. So there's most certainly a way. Here's what will happen, though. I promise you this part will happen. We will arrive at a conclusion by the end of this upcoming week, I strongly believe. That's pretty obvious. The second part is someone's going to get a ton of fake e-cred from this. I played around about trying to get mine today. That tweet was very clearly a joke. There are people on various talk shows, various message boards, various other shows and other columns and whatnot that have stated to varying degrees, no, it's a done deal. He's going to LSU. It's a done deal. He's going to Florida. It's a done deal. He's going to stay at Ole Miss. Well, there aren't 15 different options in the hat. So you got a 33% chance of just guessing right. If these are indeed the three hats on the table, you've got a 33% chance of guessing right here. Someone will have blindfolded themselves and tried to throw a dart 50 yards across the room and hit bullseye. And they will achieve king status on their local message board for the next decade for having been inside the coaching search the entire time. They weren't inside anything. They guessed right. They had wrong information, right outcome. Be careful. Be wary of that. You can really get misled down the road from people like that. The one thing I'll say about Florida is I know there seems to be a fraction of the noise coming out of Florida that there is LSU. That may be because he ends up signing with LSU. For all I know, that may be the case. I would just caution you, do not confuse silence with inaction. Sometimes there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and it's just buttoned up pretty tight. So I don't take the relative silence out of Gainesville compared to Baton Rouge to mean Florida's just cooked here. And I know a lot of the reporting has been Florida's a distant third and this and that. I still think they got a shot. That's all I'm saying. Not a leader in the clubhouse, nothing like that. I'm not making a pick on that. I'm just saying I still think they're in it. I think he could stay at Ole Miss. Absolutely think he could go to LSU. So, yeah, there we are. But to reiterate, sarcasm from the tweet this morning. And if you don't get it, I don't know what to tell you.